Okay, so here's as honest as a video as I can be as far as what it's like to age. So for the past couple of years on my birthday, I've took a photograph of me flexing. At first, I think I was maybe 49, and I was just happy, like on the cusp of being 50. And then the year I turned 50, I took one in the red shorts, and then the 51, I took one. Sometime between 50 and 51, that's when I was the most shredded, which is saying a lot because I think a lot of people have a hard time in the winter, especially the dead of winter, February 11th, that they put on their hibernation mode. But for me, I seem to lose more weight in the winter only because I don't overeat from training. And I think that's the biggest secret to my weight loss maintenance success over the last couple of years has been the fact that I realized I was overeating. And that said, over the last couple of months, I was starting to get heavy, and I haven't could have been salt. I wasn't overeating. I think it was just the types of foods I was eating, maybe more nuts, whatever it was making me bloated. And I was getting a little self-conscious about it, to be honest, because this is the shallow part, having taken these photographs, these anniversary photographs, these birthday photographs, I kind of wanted to try to stay as thin as I was, especially last year. Last year's photo, I was jacked without even trying, which was kind of a good thing. But I've known over the last several years that your body changes. And that's part of my whole journey, my whole part of sharing things, is trying to see what really does happen as you age if you maintain a certain lifestyle and don't have drastic changes in your life. What really actually does change? And I think that's my unique perspective of getting older, is that I've been extremely consistent to the point where I'm about as time efficient with my time as you can possibly be while maintaining balance in your life. Keeping a roof over your head, staying married, or keeping your significant other happy, raising a child, getting them to college, all of that stuff, and maintaining a business, etc. And then performing at a super high level in athletics. But anyway, but the last few months, like especially when I was in New York, I was starting to feel kind of fat, but that's fine, it's vacation, whatever, enjoy it. But I was in the back of my mind, I was worried, like maybe my body is changing, which is fine, but maybe now at 52 is when my body was going to change. When I started to pack on more weight, you start to pack on more weight, your weight starts to shift down towards your midsection. Your pecs start to become more breasts than anything else. So I was like accepting. It's like, okay, well maybe 51 was your peak. And I haven't changed my diet dramatically since then. I've watched what I've eaten, but I've also maintained a quality of life where I'm not losing my sanity from starving myself. But, I think I look pretty good. Granted, it's decent lighting in here. But your body is going to change, and that's the kind of thing I want to share with people, is that I know my body's going to change, and I kind of want to see, again, now, of all this consistency, not changing any variables. The variable being, the thing I can't change, is time and nature, and seeing what happens when you really do age. Because going back to my unique perspective, there aren't a lot of people that have been working out consistently since they were 37 to 52. Very, very few. Because that's the meat of a Western person's life, is those years between 35 and 50. You got to earn be as productive as possible. Life, as having a significant other, raising a child, business, maintaining a career, whatever, all of those things. And those are massive roadblocks and massive speed bumps into staying fit. And I get it. I totally get it. I've been lucky. Also worked my ass off, but I've been lucky and I get it. So, I definitely notice my body is changing a little bit, and that's fine. It's not nearly as dramatic as I was told it's going to be many years ago in all my life. But yeah, so here I am, 52, and it's not as bad as I'd hoped a couple of months ago. Yeah, if anything, I noticed I'm carrying a little bit more fat, and that's fine. The muscle's still there. Okay, here's the other thing about muscle, and I'm going to do another video specifically on this, but I'll just touch base on it. You can't add muscle when you're older. For me, it's muscle recomposition. It's body recomposition. I can, when I'm shifting between sports, doing training for A&W or cycling, I don't have a net gain or loss of muscle mass. What it does is it shifts from my legs to my upper body. And then when I'm done with the A&W, which will be in a few weeks, it'll shift from my legs, my arms, and my shoulders down to my legs. And, you know, one of the things I made a video on YouTube sort of calling out dudes that are my age that are social media fitness influencers who are clearly on drugs. They're clearly on performance enhancing drugs. Their body types just telegraph it, and they're denying it. And what they're doing is they're setting a false narrative and a false goal of what is possible to achieve. What I found is that you can't put on that muscle. What you want to do, though, the fact that you can't put on the muscle would deter a lot of people. Say, well, I don't want to try it. Well, that's not the point. The point is you are going to naturally lose muscle. What your goal is to try to stem that loss for as long as possible. And that's what I've been trying to do. I gave up a long time ago trying to put on muscle because I realized what it was, that I couldn't do it. I didn't go out of my way and go crazy again with a lifestyle, quality of life, and eating tons and tons and tons of chicken breasts and driving my family crazy because that's all Dad ate. But you know, I maintained my protein intake. I did all the right hypertrophy lifting regimens, and I had a 0.0 gain in muscle, but a like 10-20% gain in fat, and that's like the wrong direction. So that was one of the things I've discovered is a lot of guys, I think they're getting swole that are over 40, they're actually just getting straight fat. You know, sorry bro, you're getting fat. And probably now if I did a DEXA scan looking at this is probably 17% fat. You know, everyone's different, but people are delusional into what they think is swole and what they think is low body fat until they actually get a DEXA scan and get smacked in the face with a 2x4 and realize, like, oh my God, I'm at 25% body fat. And all that lifting I've been doing has not added any muscle whatsoever, and that's just a layer of fat over everything. So yeah, anyway, this is me, 52. Just thought I'd share that, and yeah, thanks for coming along on the journey.